10 teams entered, and now only 4 teams remain here at Masters Reykjavik in Iceland. Who will advance to the grand finals to meet the Sentinels? We'll find out today. My name is Golden Boy, and I'm your host, live from our studio here in sunny Los Angeles. With my analysts joining me, it's Veli, Paperthin, and Lothar. And we also have a special guest, a good friend of mine, HitScan's Ryan Central, caster extraordinaire. How you doing, my friend? How have you been enjoying the game so far?
I mean, it's been great. We've all come a long way. We're looking at 2 teams that used to go by Fish 1, 2, 3 and Summon FC first, and now this first international tournament been a bit more stressful as a European viewer. Those NAEU matchups are certainly not going our way overall, but it's been a great tournament. Been amazing to see all of the regions play out.
At the end of the day, we've been getting some fantastic Valorant, and that is truly all that any of us could ask for. But yesterday flew by, though, with 3 matches that ended in just 2 maps. And Paperthin, I think it's safe to say that Brazil's second team getting eliminated left the region feeling like there was a lot to be desired, but we know that this region is capable of even more so, and I'm sure we'll see that in the future.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We saw some great plays out of them. Definitely Saucy in particular really showed us a lot of great plays. But I mean, for the Vikings yesterday, they did try to throw a curveball at Team Liquid, bringing out Yoru with GTN. It just didn't really pan out very well. I liked they tried something different. One of the criticisms that they were kind of receiving coming into this, they were a little predictable. So to give them a different look was nice. The Yoru stuff, though, wasn't very practiced. You saw a lot of like dry gate crashes just kind of in the middle of nowhere that were just picked off easily. So just a little bit more practice, a little bit more polish. I think there's potential with Yoru with the gate crashes and his ultimate, but in the end of the day, it just wasn't enough time to get ready for it.
Yeah, it was a good idea, and I would like to see it executed a little bit better next time. I'm sure that they will as well. But Ryan, man, you know, the usual suspects popped off and performed the way that we expected them to. Team Liquid, FNATIC, Sentinels smashing the competition yesterday.
Yeah, dominant fashion. That FNATIC version 1 game, I really think could have gone either way, but it was nice to see FNATIC actually have some composure, really outplay a team that's surpassed all expectations. But it was Sentinels, man. Like that new turn game, they absolutely destroyed. They've all but confirmed their position as well to be at that main Champions Worlds event at the end of the year. If they win Masters 2, they've 100% confirmed it. So they've basically got one foot in the door for the biggest event that's still yet to be played in December, and they've done so in pretty dominant fashion. FNATIC and Liquid, though, nice to see them actually get into a good position where they're looking strong and have that momentum after suffering some pretty early losses in the tournament.
I'm not going to lie to you, okay? I as much as I like Team Liquid, it would be nice to see another winning celebration from FNATIC because they seem to always be thinking about some good stuff. Now, before we dive into today's matches, we do have a very special announcement for a particular group of Valorant fans out there who have been waiting for this. Let's take a look.
I'm everybody's type, but nobody can deny. Yes, you know I get it, I'm getting free. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. You go all that got you free. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. You go all that got you. Girl, not a bossy. I'ma be alright, 'cause you know nothing got me out. Yeah, I'ma bring the crazy. Get that freaky on. You go all that got you.
That's right, baby. Valorant players in South Asia will now have a pathway into Champions, the end-of-year world final for Valorant. Top teams from the Valorant Conquerors Championship will be able to qualify for the Asia LCQ, where they will compete for a shot at glory. Welcome to the VCT, guys. Now, shifting our focus here, we also have our bracket, and let's take a look at it because it's going to be some good matches. Well, it's our schedule, firstly. But regardless, you guys know what's left here, right? We are going to have FNATIC versus Team Liquid. Then the winner of that will face off against Korea's New Turn for a ticket out of the lower bracket and a spot in the finals and a date with the Sentinels. And talking about this European face-off of FNATIC versus Team Liquid, the rivalry goes deep, and there is some bad blood between these 2 teams. As you can see from this tweet that Boaster posted earlier today, I mean, look at this. He was so excited to get the fist bump scream, guys. And, you know, they're going through the rehearsals, you know, all sportsmanship, their scream, and he left them hanging. He left them hanging.
Oh, baby.
He gave him the old Ric
I
Flair
feel so
treatment.
bad for Boaster.
Why is that, Ryan? Why is that?
Well, because Boaster has looked up to Scream forever, man. Like, and I think Boaster's story in particular is one that I think is really pulling at the heartstrings for a lot of people. Now it's got serious. Scream's really toying with him. They did make up another fist bump in another picture. But why am I even telling you that? This is a nice grudge match. These guys have played in MEA finals, Challengers 2 finals, all best of 5 things. But this is a best of 3. Map bans and picks are going to be important. And also, we've got a pretty interesting matchup when it comes to Yampi and Durka. They both went to the same Finnish school. It must be a school for like Finnish op wizards, because the amount of swishes and flicks that we've seen from both of them has been amazing. But it really goes to show that both these players actually came onto these teams at a pretty late point. It really helped them build a lot of momentum getting into the Challengers sort of finals and then qualifying for Iceland. They're going to be massively important when it comes to getting on top and maybe even beating Newton after this game potentially.
I have a really good joke that I'm going to say, and I hope I nail it. Forget Hogwarts, how about Yogwarts? You know, because of Yampi? I don't know. I tried, okay?
Did they finish this school, actually?
Oh, that was a good one. Dang it, Lothar. You did good. You did good. I'm proud of you today. You made yourself.
good.
You made up for the Jaws joke. And no one laughed at my joke as well, by the way, which actually kind of hurts me. So I'm expecting to see a lot of Keck W's in the chat there. But anyway, Veli, there's going to be a lot here that Liquid need to contend with, especially in dealing with, as Ryan pointed out, Durka's prominence on the map.
Durka by far, and listen, debate your mama, there's no argument about it. Durka is the best entry player in this whole tournament. We see it from round number 1. He picks a lane and he dominates. Now, it's going to be very important that Team Liquid, they learn to adapt on the fly, use that utility, and make sure that they know where Durka's coming from. I personally think Golden Boy SoCas is going to be the most important player on Team Liquid. We hear about Yampi, we hear about Scream, but against version 1, like we just saw, the aggressive peaks with the Trailblazer, the guided lights to see if FNATIC are actually faking or if Durka is actually hiding in the corner, you're going to have to call that out, get those kills, and that makes things so much easier for him. So, SoCas, I'm looking at you, man. Step up.
Yeah, you would want players like SoulCast to step up, but paper thin. The reality is that as FNATIC have taken this trip to the lower bracket, they seem to have just gotten better, especially after that loss against Sentinels. It seems like FNATIC are looking like in top form today.
Yeah, and I mean, a big part of it, of course, is Durka opening up that space and that time for his team. And a lot of that is based on the utility that FNATIC uses. It's like toxic screens to cut off the angles that he has to look at, or sometimes he just like knows what to shoot at through those toxic screens. Even we saw that yesterday where he just blind fired and hit somebody. But I mean, after that, it's their post-plant setups that are really difficult to deal with. They're incredible at it. They know their space. They know their timings. If they have the time to set up, it's really difficult to deal with. What is Team Liquid going to do? Are they going to find ways to hit the back lines of FNATIC and really disrupt those lineups in those post-plant situations?
Yeah, and FNATIC's prep, though, Lothar, has been impeccable. You saw it in that version 1 matchup. And while, again, to kind of echo it, they didn't quite find their footing in Sentinels, you could see moments of greatness there, and I'm expecting that same level of preparation coming out of this squad today here as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. FNATIC, you can see here on Ascend, they actually came up with very neat setup on B, where there's a Viper wall cutting off Cypher sitting in CT. They have like a lot of small stuff that is just making it work. Here in this pistol round, they had a heavy A stack, while there was a Viper wall set up in the backside of B for a retake. So they always have a plan in their mind, which is great to see, because they have, like, let's say in this situation here, even though they lost the pistol round, but if they would be attack on B, where Yampi would have just probably dashed out, they would retake 5v5, that wall would have been prepared for the boat area, and basically because of that they have an upper hand in the retake. But in general, I wanted to talk a little bit about in this matchup, because I feel like FNATIC will have an upper hand because they only played Icebox and Haven so far. Icebox is typically banned by Liquid, and that leaves 3 maps that are not really shown, right? And we have seen an example in Ascent. FNATIC didn't even play Sova. They compensated that with the combination of Cypher and Sky, which is a great newer plan coming from the teams. I'm expecting to see newer stuff coming from them. Maybe we'll even see split today that we didn't see in the EMEA at the finals at all, unless it had 3 duelists, which is not something that I will gonna play here.
Yeah, and undoubtedly, guys, and Ryan, this one's for you, man. I mean, the pressure of today is certainly paramount here for both of these teams. Winner moves on, loser goes home, but no matter what, an EU team will be knocked out of this competition today.
Yeah, and I still think for both these teams getting this far for a confirmed 4th place and maybe even as far as 2nd or potentially 1st if they could beat Sentinels, I think is a good look for the region considering these are 2 teams. Of course, Boaster is just doing Boaster things. It's one of these areas where I think that you look at FPX and the fact that they didn't qualify, that they had those nerves. I was really worried about FNATIC coming into this. I thought that they would struggle against that first game with Crew. I had a gut feeling, but just turned out it was gas, honestly. Like, it was FNATIC looking exceptionally strong, and really they've actually come into this kind of situation all guns blazing, and they look more confident here than they did at home.
Yeah, they certainly do. Perhaps it's the moment of the stage, right? Being there, being present. Also, playing on land. It really is an experience, unlike any other. Now we have some time, so I do want everyone at home to know that you can join in on the fun using the hashtag Verizon5G_AllChat, and we'll feature your tweets throughout today's broadcast. But as always, it is time for our analysts to predict. And you know what? We got a little bit of time. I was told by production. So let's have some fun with this one here. Veli, I want to start with you. There's no NA bias on the table now, Poppy. You can go ahead and have a good time with it. Who do you think is going to walk away with the win?
I want to choose Liquid so bad because I love everybody on that roster. Scream is incredible, right? You can't deny it, man. But the team is just way too streaky for me, and they could get thrown off. They go against a really good team with great adjustments. FNATIC is exactly that. I think Boaster is extremely intelligent, but not only that, there's no answer for Durka yet. And if Liquid loves those individual engagements, Durka's going to have a field day. FNATIC's going to come out on top.
Oh, spice there. FNATIC on top, but paper thin. Veli keeps talking about no answer for Durka, but we saw yesterday that a lot of teams don't have a response for Yampy either, so much so that they leave him to hold sites by himself. That is how good he is. True. Do you think that the Yampy difference could be a factor here today?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the potential is slightly higher for Team Liquid in terms of like their absolute peak is just a little bit, I think, above FNATIC's in terms of like individual mechanical ability. So I think for me, Team Liquid is going to come here, perform on the big stage just a little bit better than FNATIC. I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think for Team Liquid, I just read an interview by Scream right before this that he said they are focused on Durka. They're trying to shut him down. They know he's a key factor in what makes FNATIC successful. So they have a game plan coming into this. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the lean, mean, scream machine, Team Liquid.
All right, he's going for Team Liquid and also probably wants some of that sweet merch too. I don't blame you. I have one of their sweaters. It's really comfortable. Now, Lothar, here's the deal though, man. There is a lot of discussion around this combination of Durka and Yampy, but let's be real here, dude. I mean, we're still talking about Scream, the legend, the headshot machine. Surely you feel like Team Liquid has an opportunity, or are you going the other way?
Look, it's going to be a close match. That's for sure. We have seen that in the past when the teams already met up 3 times. Liquid came out on top twice. But in this one, I do feel like FNATIC is going to have an upper hand. They contained a lot more information about them, their compositions. I feel like they're actually going to ban something else than split, and maybe we'll see a very big surprise coming from them, which Liquid might not be prepared for. Also, don't forget about the stuff with their mental game. Liquid wasn't showing really great when it comes to the preview games. They were mentally a little bit, let's say, even broken, and that could have been affecting them.
All right, and Ryan, for you, my friend, who do you got winning this?
I got FNATIC. I think a lot of people might look at the recent game, the best of 5 series against Liquid that won against FNATIC. I think the main thing is that's a best of 5. It's 3 maps here. Some get banned out. I think overall the map pool is going to look good for FNATIC. But I mean, Link shaved his head. He's got the bald buff. 60% of this analyst desk has it as well. It's a really good thing going for Liquid, but FNATIC should have it here. All
right. Well, Ryan, I want to thank you so much for joining us. And by the way, everyone, make sure you check out his channel, HitScan, for amazing Valorant content, as well as a co-stream of the Masters Reykjavik broadcast at youtube.com/hitscan. But the battle for EU begins right now. Let's kick off Masters Reykjavik yet again.
FNATIC sending version 1 home.
Vikings going out of Masters. Team Liquid move on in the bracket.
Both of these squads are incredible.
With Liquid moving forward, it means that it's going to be one of the EU teams that eliminates the other one.
I think Europe is one of the strongest regions in the world right now.
I mean, EU matchup, we know how they play, we're coming for them, and I'm gonna be screaming.
I want a rematch. Last time we played and we lost 3-2 in a long BO5, and I just want a rematch.
I just want to wish them good luck. I know there are brothers from Europe, but one team has to go home, and we'll make sure it's them.
It's not over yet for New Turn. They could still do a lower bracket run.
I feel like we're a top contender for this tournament, so if we get past Liquid and we got Newton left, I'm confident we can get it, and I'm confident that we can get another 2-0.
아무래도 좀 팀플레이 위주로 기반으로 하는 팀들에게 저희가 조금 더 비슷한 스타일이기 때문에 같이 잘 대응할 수 있지 않을까 그렇게 생각하고 있습니다.
Control once again. Solo able to get one. There comes the flash. Oh, he's in such a good position here. Solo converts another and suggest.
아직 끝난 거 아니고 보여줄 게 아직 남았으니까 각오해도 좋을 것 같습니다. Neutron, these guys are really good at Valorant and they have been showing it. Hopefully we're gonna play Neutron for the next game so we can reach the grand finals against Sentinels.
I don't think anyone can put up a strong fight against us. We're gonna beat everyone.
There can only be one. The final chance for these EU teams to throw down. FNATIC up against Liquid. It's all out today. There we go. Scream's a good guy. Pick it up. But This is what it comes down to. There can only be one bastion of hope for the European region. The masterminds walking out there, Sliggy on the stage, Mini joining out as well. Everyone bringing it through here. Yampy looking in good spirits. And they know each other. These were, as Scream said, brothers at one point, now rivals.
Yeah, and another really interesting matchup for us here today. Again, both of the, I guess, the teams that kind of epitomize the preparation factor, especially from these European teams. So this is going to be a face-off. And again, we've seen in previous examples, obviously, think back to the best of 5 in the Challengers finals, at least, to get to this stage, just how much preparation went into that and the anti-stratting and the slight adjustments here. But I'm excited to see the veto, Lauren.
Yeah, regional matchups are always an interesting one when it comes down to it. Liquid going to take away Icebox instantaneously, which has been a commonplace pick for FNATIC.
And again, just a few struggling performances from Liquid. Now, FNATIC banning Haven's an interesting one. It leaves a certain map on the board here. Yeah, and we're going to start there as well. So this is really interesting. Neither team playing this so far through Masters, and actually, I mean, with previous performances, taking that into account, that's terrifying. I think we might see some magic coming out here in map 1.
I mean, you can't leave something like Bind on the plate. If FNATIC sees that, it's there every day. And for Liquid, you can't dance with the devil and not expect to get burnt. These boys have got to know they're walking into the lion's den here, and we're going to have Split as the last. Liquid picking up Ascent. Ooh, this veto's looking kind of nice, Hypok.
Yeah, and it goes to Split. I mean, this was a talking point as well previously with what we saw at the Challengers finals, right? From FNATIC, that triple duelist comp that came out. And again, we haven't really got a great data sample, right? There's been lots of kind of messing around with the composition there. So I'm hoping, again, you know, I said actually on day 1 or 2 of Reykjavik that I don't expect FNATIC, with preparation being so pivotal to their performance overall. I don't think they would come to an event like this and have such a massive hole in their map pool. So if we do go the distance here, Split could be really interesting to watch.
And speaking of going the distance, this whole series is really a marathon. I think it's something we can't ignore, that whoever wins this has to then face an incredibly good opponent just around the corner. So if you've got to be thinking about the longevity in this, the endurance that these two teams, whoever makes it forward, will have to show today.
It looks in good spirits. So again, I mean, last time we were talking over Liquid, we talk about the emotional factor and just how many times this, again, it's watching Liquid under pressure, right? And again, there's no strangers to this kind of scenario, right? In EU, we're kind of forged through these one and done elimination brackets where we don't have the benefit of having a lower bracket, right? So the stakes here, very familiar for both teams. They've both been here before. But yeah, I'm expecting a hell of a display of Valorant today.
Leading to this point, you look towards the route these two teams have taken, and it's been impressive. Yeah, there's a couple of, I guess, marks on the sheet, right? You've got version 1, the loss there, the 2-1 loss that came through that certainly haunted a little of Liquid going through it. The Sentinels lost to FNATIC, somewhat more expected, but definitely tempered some of that confidence that Durka once had. So again, we look towards how they'd recover, and they did against X10 and then version 1, sending the first NA team out of here. However, the big boss waiting is still Sentinels, who will be in that final, who can watch this all happen in front of them. They get a day to sit and wait with anticipation as to who makes it through this run in the end.
I think it's fair to kind of judge both teams by their losses, and FNATIC ultimately, I think, looked better in their loss, right? It was actually a very close series with Sentinels, and again, it came back to I don't want to say an underperformance from Liquid, because I think actually on the day, the version 1 just over-delivered massively. But yeah, it's definitely interesting to see kind of the way that series started out, and for Liquid to close out Split on map 1 and then kind of stumble on the 2 hurdles that followed that. Was definitely painful to watch as an EU fanboy. I think it's no secret already. I let my emotions.
I think you can be biased in this one. Don't worry, mate. You're fine.
Well, in this one, an EU team's going to win, Lauren. An EU team's going to win this series.
Bias caster, please, Riot, fire him. Get him out of here. Absolutely disgusting bias being shown. And again, this is the thing. I think that if people coming into this just on paper looked at those results against your Sentinels or version 1, but didn't watch the game, or maybe aren't considering how close that was, you might misread it being a stomp, and they weren't. I think the big difference was some of the key elements from FNATIC did get shut down. Whereas I feel Liquid were their own biggest enemy in that version 1 game. I think that's the main thing you could look at, and we've all known, if you've again seen a little bit of Liquid coming in, sometimes they are their own biggest enemies in this. However, this being a regional matchup, it changes everything. That's where each team knows each other so well. This isn't just, oh, we've been poring over the VODs. We've watched every game, we've played them, we've practiced them. These guys play in and out. They are often seen as the top end, but we do get Agent Select coming in, brought to you by Prime Gaming. Any surprises, anything standing out to you here to keep our eyes towards?
I know, well, slight adjustment here actually on the side of Liquid. Last time we did see the showing here, it was Scream on the Phoenix. We're going to see the Sage in place here, which we've seen across a couple of other maps as well. Elsewhere, no real surprises. FNATIC expectations-wise, would expect Durka to be flexing onto that Sova here. And obviously, Doma stepping onto the Raze, Magnum on the Sky. So no real shockers across the board here. Again, adopting Sage as part of Liquid's composition more so. Yes, the more surprising one was Ascent for me to make that switch, but here at least on Bind, no real shocker.
No, and I'm very excited to see FNATIC actually on this map, because most people coming against them will just take it away from them. It's too heavy to ignore, so it's normally removed from the equation. We haven't had to even have that discussion until this point. So finally, we get to have a little look at it, and we get into the game. EU versus EU here. FNATIC up against Liquid, and only one continues. It's going to be a heavy burden to bear to carry the banner forward. But only one of these teams can do it, and we'll see who it really comes through for. My eyes instantly in pistols will always go to Yampi, made to be the raid boss, armor, and the frenzy to boot. So the man is locked and loaded, ready to go.
A slow start here. We see early Mystics set up that wall for A site, and we're going to have 3 members of Liquid actually committed here to hold pretty close. But FNATIC sitting in a default for the time being. And no real surprises here. Doma situated just outside Market here, actually pushing up towards Sand with Boaster, spike in hand as well. So if they try and force their way in here, Durka's still just waiting for any sort of audio cue information or something like this. And Liquid actually going to be proactive here. They're going to take control of short coming through A. You're going to push through towards Market.
Yeah, they're not really stopping. Even with that little bit of contact they got off kind of on the backside. Now Yampi on the swing yet, going to find Doma. This is very proactive from Liquid in this regard. I'm quite surprised that they've not necessarily had that information relayed throughout this after that initial spot, but you can see the response from FNATIC is to lean back towards this A site. Scream trying to be the guardian of it, but no, Mystic takes him away, and now the site's a little more available. It's not without contest though. Still Soulcast going to be playing towards short. Little flash over towards Shower, and one right back from Magnum.
Soulcast now just kind of isolated. He's got to actually try and find some damage here if he can while his teammates come through. Yampi going to drop out of heaven now. They should be able to get some kind of control of sight here, but they do close out Soulcast here. FNATIC will stabilize for the time being.
I love that FNATIC focused towards removing that player from short. It could have been a problem for the post-palm, but now there's nothing really in their way. Link noted, does find one, and away we go to the other side. Spike planted, uncontested. 5 seconds remain. Link has got a long way to get trotting.
Yeah, it's still got, well, manages to, I guess, upgrade to the Frenzy. They come through Mystic, low HP, but Boaster and Magnum pretty healthy. Molly going to come through, do a lot of damage there, and we'll clean that one up. And again, we went round the world, I feel, but it's good to see Liquid kind of take a very proactive approach there and left Scream as kind of the contingency for Yampi and Soulcast to go hunting through Market. They find that kill. Unfortunately here, I think Scream may be misreading that a little bit, maybe only expecting one player to come through Showers, but overall, really well handled recovery, at least, on that, because it looked like with that aggression in the early round, everything was kind of playing towards Liquid's favor.
Yeah, and the boys are fired up. You can see it in FNATIC's faces. They are loving that. Good start for them. Shake it off, get right in today, feeling hot as well. Just get that momentum building instantly. No slow beginning, and that's something you'd like to see for Liquid if you're a fan as well. They do respond well. Get Yampi kind of popping off early, get that hot hand building. Not just yet. And FNATIC going back to more of the usual, but Magnum's going to catch a lovely bit of info, sees the second, actually commits on the flash to it, going to fall away. And while this happens, FNATIC then going to lean heavier towards his B-side take.
And Link now just making his way towards Elbow, so not going to be able to do anything to stop this, so FNATIC going to get full control of front side, should get a clean plant as well. Again, at this point, the way this is played out. Look for Liquid to just try and do some damage, get some of these weapons off the board. From FNATIC. It's going to be difficult to break back through here with pistols. And you always see, actually, Magnum 45 HP. He did back away on short, but he's now going to come through for the pinch.
And even him just clearing this far, just closes them in further and further. He does get noted, but the flash is good. The spray's a little labored, but does the job. Soulcast removed. And now we are going to be looking at the last 4. Now time's dwindled, so this is again a damage case for Liquid. What more can they get out of this? Tag, no frag, all sorted. FNATIC moving forward, 4 alive, spike planted. Good start for them.
It comes to, I mean, nobody getting closer. And again, the ones we look towards on this composition, at least we look towards Doma building his ultimate. I think Magnum as well to an extent, with that being a lesser requirement in terms of numbers. And also Boaster. Some of the set pieces we see are based around that showstopper and the orbital strike with this composition from FNATIC. So decent progress already from Boaster and Magnum as well.
Calm start. This is where I've got to look towards.
That's, yeah.
It's quite nice. Yampy, the judge, in his no way. The discipline on this man! The judge, the jury, and the executioner, once again, he is just so good with this. It's actually unbearable. And now FNATIC going to be feeling a little worse for wear after that.
Unfortunately, FNATIC walk right into this one. Yes. Spike down as well. Soulcast going to find a kill elsewhere. Only 2 remaining here for FNATIC. Durka and Doma. Dynamic duo we've seen so many times before. See if they can do anything to recover this round for them. Be difficult here. Screen posted up already. I mean, Liquid able to collapse around this spike. Take full control. Scream actually gonna, okay, yeah, lose that to the Spectre of Durka. We can do, yeah, any more damage here really is good, but I mean, if they can recover this round, it'd be even better there, as I think Cryptics will deal with it. Doma gets 1 consolation before falling. A majority of Liquid survive.
And big tick in the box for Yampy. I mean, still looking good with the shoddy, so fair enough. Not too surprising after what we saw. I think it was just yesterday, right? Like, and again, punishment for not checking the corner, but it happens. Just going to be a bit of a wake-up call. Get the caffeinated beverages on the go, and I'm sure FNATIC will tighten that up. You can't let him go unchecked on. No,
and again, you notice it as well. It's the reward for that discipline and getting the second as well, right? Letting Boaster pass and then punishing Mystic to be the first one, at least. And Yampy immediately making that play for the orb on B long. Going to get the Blade Storm online, so he can ride that Spectre through this round. Rifles across the board elsewhere. He's spotted, though, by the Owl Drone. Forced out by the Paint Shell. Going to have to burn his dash as well, so maybe can't be as aggressive with the Blade Storm early on. As I say that, comes through a perfect flash.
He was just a little ahead of it, I felt, by maybe a second, but you could see the intention behind it. If that flash was a little earlier, he was a little later by a second, that could have been devastating, but it actually kind of leaves everyone in a bit of a stalemate now. Yes, the loss of Yampy's a problem, but still 4 rifles on deck and no big hit just yet from FNATIC, which is coming in now. Good utility slow on this as well. You can see what they're trying to do to buy the time for these rotations, which pretty solid. Now these 4 players for FNATIC try and make the dip through, and Soulcast.
Oh no.
No way, he's gotten away with it. He needs more. He's only going to get 1 more out of it. I thought maybe the connection on Doma could have happened, but the damage gets done, and now the re-rotation from Link tries to come back across, catching them on the weird timing of it. Doma bails them out of another sticky situation.
You stick 1 snake bite here, so they got the opportunity to play the post plant. Doma actually getting the showstopper online as part of that plant. So a big tool comes online for FNATIC here. As he comes through, yeah, gonna pop it early here. Liquid gotta respect it for the time being. Cryptics and Scream forced all the way back into spawn. Scream actually faces. Doma's gonna find him for his 3rd.
Cryptics, what can you do with this? You heard it going.
Yeah, you heard it.
It's so the timing's done, and I'm pretty sure Cryptics is very well aware of that. So time to maybe back away. Leave as is. Look, we talk about post plants a great deal, and this was one of the first maps we really got to see the absolute strength of it. So don't be too surprised if you see that time and time again.
Again, a massive tool comes online. Getting that plant and Doma getting his showstopper online, again, it creates another opportunity for FNATIC to pop that ultimate. We know that you got to respect that. You got to back up, right? It runs the clock down the whole time. As soon as you hear that audio cue, Soulcast, unfortunately, I mean, I got to say, yeah, good for the 2 there, but there's a huge opportunity for him to find more. This is, again, Doma finding the 1 kill. Scream, unfortunately, just overstaying his welcome, I'll say, inside halls.
Well, Marnie's going to start getting a little tight here, but Liquid going to get 2 judges up, supplement those rifles that still remain, and FNATIC kind of just quite an early lean and a decent amount of take towards the site. Good amount of progress made. Scream gonna be careful on the timing here. Call to action now. Gonna find 1. That's gonna be a big pickup. But Doma again, the value this man is finding on the way into these sites, these pickups, the actual value of the kills are paramount so far. And now for the post plant, here we go. And again, you're left with Yampy, Soulcast, and a Link. Now, once again, the reminder, 2 judges in play here. Not gonna be easy on the retake.
No, it's not. As already you see Mystic, 2 snake bites again, gonna reset. He's got the orb on the plant as well. Orbital strikes up on both sides here, but no flank coming through means they need to be quick about this retake here. And Liquid just now coming through. Link swings out, going to get dealt with by Doma. Magnum finds one as well. That one over before it really gets started, to be honest. Again, expectations-wise, yes, you can talk about the man advantage there, but no real pressure towards the backline. Allows FNATIC to get this really comfortable hold on site. No real pressure coming through on the plant. Again, Soulcast in a position where he's got to sit behind that wall with the judge. He can't try and close the distance there to prevent the plant going down. It's a really unfortunate situation for them.
Doma is seriously making a case for himself here as right next to Durka. Yeah, Durka's your flashy player on the jet occasionally, but Doma, he finds value for sure.
He's been solid as a rock for FNATIC throughout this event. And again, I gotta say, you know, with all the attention Durka's getting, unsung hero in a lot of scenarios. He's the guy that's there to kind of bail him out. Actually, Mystic gonna find entry. A Scream. Got to be careful. As Doma's gonna close the distance once again.
We aren't going to be looking at Sheriffs though, so this round shouldn't be too much of a threat. So FNATIC going to keep this very clean. Great work from them. Again, just going through all the correct motions, no mistakes being made, playing as this kind of just death ball rolling through the map. Now, Link, damage would be lovely. He's going to have a little bit of a flank to maybe get building, but I don't think he's got much to really bring to it at this point. So again, this is... So here's the real take of this, right? Here's the real kind of meat of the entire thing, is that when you pick this map or you leave this available and FNATIC are playing, you got to come with a plan. Otherwise, you're going to get walked through. Now, I don't know if we've seen enough from Liquid. I think the way these rounds have gone, it's been quite hard to see them finding that form just yet. There's been maybe like a goodbye really so far, but the rest has been a bit of a judge here. But this there, once we get into the real gun rounds in this, and the economy somewhat stabilizes, we have to see what they're planning here, because otherwise, it's going to be more of this. It's 5-1 already.
I mean, last time they did meet in the Challengers Finals, I mean, it was a 13-7 scoreline. But FNATIC ran away with the first half of their attack, at least. I think actually on the half it ended 7-5, if I'm not mistaken. It took a little while for Liquid to readjust and like you said, have an answer for what we know FNATIC are going to try and do on Bind. I mean, this was how they put themselves on the map, right? All the way back at First Strike with this sort of composition, and really led the way in terms of making it frustrating to play against. And that was ahead of the meta, you got to say. Before it really, there were a couple of key changes.
Okay, this is got to be the switch up, right? And you bring up a very valid point. Now we do see a big push, or at least a lot of attention drawn in towards Hook. I don't really know what happened to the ult here. Soulcast's gonna wait patiently, does pull the trigger on the first. That's Doma now dead. You're looking for more though. Soulcast under pressure, he can't do it. Mystic finds one, Magnum finds Link, and yeah, time gets bought, but the site is theirs. FNATIC striding through this now. Scream, Cryptics, and Yampy. First time we got to see that op coming out. They've not had a chance to use it. Ultimates are all there, but they need a couple of frags. They need to step in. Durka is not letting Scream find any room here as Yampy I'm backing away with that if I'm him, because too much value is about to get thrown away. It's going to be 6-1. This is huge, huge work from FNATIC. This is a very solid look, and I don't think anyone is surprised.
And again, another scenario. Here comes, and it's so coordinated. Yes, they lose Dome on the way in, but you can see the response straight away. Orbital Strike invested. Clears Link out from backside. Again, he was in a spot there where he was actually trying to counter that play coming through. He was trying to bail Soulcast out ultimately with his own Orbital Strike. Do as much damage on the way in as possible, but really, really nice execution on to be there.
It's got to be attack timeout soon if you're Liquid. Because they've had nothing so far, even into this buy. I mean, it's just been so one-sided at this point.
Yeah. I said it's last time again. You could say it took them a while to get back in on their defense at least.
Yeah.
Talking about Liquid, there we go. The attack timeout comes through, and this is the point. You don't want it to kind of slip away, and then if you've got kind of an 8-round deficit already. With like 9 rounds played, it's difficult to really dig deep and get back into the game. The problem is, actually, previous showing, FNATIC started strong on both halves, on their defense and attack, more so on the attack, actually. But again, it leans into that kind of when the pressure's on and Liquid have got to dig deep, it's shaky, right? It comes down to these rounds where, and I gotta say, at this event, right? How many times have we talked about Scream and Yampy, but Link, man. Link has bailed Liquid out of a lot of situations this event, and he's not the one that usually you'd look towards, right? He's stepped up massively in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Link was pretty clutch in the past. He was, you know, always good for a couple of them. He'd bail him out of occasional scenarios, but yeah, the elevation has been pretty notable. And my eyes go towards Sliggy here as to what he can do to adjust this, because it has been a run-through at the moment, and the issue becomes, well, what if FNATIC just hit the switch now? This gives that momentum right back over towards the other side. FNATIC could then go, we'll just throw a couple of curveballs. We're already 6-1 up. Maybe take a little bit of a higher risk, but how are they going to counter it if they don't even have an idea on what we're doing now? So we'll have to wait and see how this goes down. Sliggy able to talk to the boys on Liquid to maybe try and talk through a couple of concepts, a couple of ideas, try and get that mentality in the right place as to how to handle and slow down these FNATIC takes. And it looks like Yampy might be going for an Aggie peak, at least at the start.
I'm going to send Scream over towards Hooker as well, so a bit of an adjustment around that. FNATIC just come. I'm going to clear all this space on B long. Going to spot out Link as well, noting that actually got a Bulldog, but now I've taken contact. Magnum going to drift back away, and both are just going to stay put for the time being. Oh, Cryptics! Oh, he nearly had the snake bite out.
That could have been a disaster either way, a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
I guess he'll be somewhat okay with that rather than being caught with a util in hand. Now, Yampy's still on the site, though. He's seen nothing from Showers push through just yet. Isolates one on shore. He readjusts position. Wants some more boasters there. They know he's there. Yampy! Destruction at his hand so far. But they need a little more. Need to put the closure on this round. Misses it on towards Mystic, but Soulcast by his side. And Soulcast keeps the round safe. The adjustment has worked at least there. Whether it be Yampy providing a couple of big ones or just simply right place, right time, it seems to have worked.
That was... Again, the Owl Drone comes through, and I think Magnum's so keen to isolate that 1 kill on site, but Yampy goes unnoted in between default and triple right there. And this second one, again, just a relay of information from Soulcast. Yampy finds the second one through the smoke, or through the wall, I should say, sorry. Onto Boaster, really, really nice recovery there. There's that reactive Seeker pop that comes through. Yampy posted up now. He might actually find early on, but the Aldrone and diligent to come through and just dry peek that again. The problem being, look how aggressive they're trying to be to close Yampy down.
Oh, Soulcast! They were so hyper-focused towards trying to deal with Yampy, pushing him back and back and back. They didn't account for Soulcast, who's still a problem. So's Yampy Liquid. This adjustment is sublime. And now Boaster. What can you do with this one? One's fine, but it's not enough for a round. Recovery for Liquid here, finally making a bit of a statement after being absolutely just overwhelmed by FNATIC. This adjustment is good, and Soulcast, That positioning was great. Yampy taking all that focus.
Yeah, really, really well played. And again, for Yampy to get out and, I guess, bait them in enough, like you said, they were so keen to close the distance on Yampy. It was a little bit lazy on the push, I gotta say, and Soulcast absolutely punishes them for it.
Good job, guys. Good job. Let's go.
I mean, I'm glad I mentioned it when I did, because it took 6 rounds for Liquid to really get anything strung together last time, and now they're gonna get 2 on the board, and in very comfortable fashion, confident fashion. Looked in absolute control there. Again, the previous round, sort of, again, 2 kind of really nice baits to put Yampy in a position where he goes unchecked to find that opener. FNATIC actually going to put the brakes on now. Call attack timeout of their own.
And if you're kind of playing along at home, great deals of success on the other side, and I think they're going to post Yampy right up there, maybe predicting FNATIC leaning back into what was working prior. However, if Liquid have their minds in the right place as well, I'm sure they're going to be aware of these adjustments, as will FNATIC, so we have to see what they come back in with now. This is just the, you know, the mastermind game, right, between these two. It's just that game of chess. Both trying to counter each other's next step, both trying to be hyper aware of it, and also put your point man in the right place. I mean, Yampy has been a game changer in a couple of these rounds. One, yeah, the judge round was one of the earlier ones they actually garnered, and now this op coming into play, the play with Soulcast, he's been pivotal in some of these.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, just to be in that kind of position to pivot off Yampy, kind of taking so much attention in the early round. Oster's buying an op. Okay. All right, let's see it. Oh, Yampy actually swings all the way down there. A rare miss, actually. I feel like he was in a good position to punish Durka. But a rare miss from him nonetheless. We'll retrieve that orb on B long. Reset. Actually, now you see Yampy's head all the way back towards A heaven now. So we rejoin Soulcast and Cryptix on A site.
Maybe I want to see what FNATIC do with this, because Yampy's already hit that rotation towards A. He's a super versatile upper. He's going to be around the map constantly, but I wonder if there's a look to come back in. Boaster on the AWP as well is unique. It looks like that slow take towards B is at least underway for now. God, they're being patient. We're down to 35 seconds. They've shown so little.
Yeah, and even the...
Is this could be a late round fake, isn't this? Surely.
I mean, Spike's heading towards Hooker, yeah.
And they've noted where Yampy is?
It screamed just now biting, but again, Link playing deep enough, he's going to get that audio cue, so he pulls Scream right back, and Yampy already hitting the rotate here, down to 13 seconds left. Homer will find Scream.
Yeah, but does Link swing on this? Oh my word,
oh
Link!
My God!
The 3K is just unbelievable. I thought he was dead to rights, but Magnum just leaves him alive for a second. Soulcast is like, don't worry about it, I got you. You've done your work. You're fine. I'll come in and do the rest of it, but how did he get 3 out of that? I thought maybe deny the spike plant. That was enough, right? Like, I was like, okay, that job done, tick in the box, we'll move on. 3 out of that?
The fact Link's just like, well, I've got 3 kills. I'm just going to pull out a smoke here for good measure. Why the hell not? That transfer onto Mystic was so good. Really, really well played from him. And like I said, yes, Scream can drift away because Link's deep enough to find that audio cue to pull him right back. And yeah, actually, Doma finds Scream first, and Link's the one that ends up holding down B site. Liquid will bring it within 2 rounds. FNATIC a little rattled, I gotta say, in their previous one. Yeah, trying to sell that late round fake, but what do we do here? Again, no early contact shown on the side of FNATIC. Happy to sit in this default. And Liquid now, I mean, all they've got to do is not play into this, right? Don't give anything away in the early round. With Yampy finding the kills he is, they can afford to sit back and wait for FNATIC to make a move.
Still info find there. But there's the pull towards the other side anyway, so Magnum's cleared through showers, gonna get towards the orb, I'm sure. And Boaster playing near on contact. That's going to be kind of thwarted. Tries to get the wallbang prior, but there's the swing from Link. Again, this man is finding value. iPad away for now, but Link does try to convert another, but Soulcast makes the trade work so well. Quick flash of it, but Mystic outdoes him, still not blinded, but Cryptix is on the site. 27 seconds, and Mystic has to check on this one, and he's cleared him. Good work from Mystic on that, but Scream now wants to be involved. A little ahead of Yampy, who's a little bit deeper towards CT. And Scream, let's catch the headshot towards Magnum, brings it to a 1v2. This would need some Yampy magic. Spike planted, Boaster and Mystic. This ain't the ideal post plant for them, but trying to stay doubled up on this, gonna make it hard for him to find any of this work. That's the headshot, he needs the second evades, and Mystic clutching this out.
A nice round from Mystic again, coming through on that clearance to find Cryptix as well on site, and FNATIC will respond. Scoreline 7-4 now. And really good for this clearance here. And again, I don't think Cryptix actually gave away any sound cue there. He was walking the whole time. I think just finally made a step, and Mystic decides to full clear him. Now, the problem being with the way the last few rounds have gone, FNATIC now in a position where they have lots at their disposal. The Hunter's Fury, the Orbital Strike, the Showstopper, and the Seekers all available here. And this is when FNATIC are scariest. They have all of these tools for one of their set pieces. Link actually getting that orb as well. He's going to get an Orbital Strike of his own online.
This is a 4-play stack towards A. From Liquid. Durka's going to see maybe one note two. Let's see what he can do about it, though. Going to try and do some damage off the back. I think there was a tag off it, but doesn't really matter. Soulcast healed back up, and I'm sure he could sort the rest out if required. And here's the next ult from Link.
Yes.
Boaster.
A little premature actually on Hooker, and Link, the only man here on B, he's got to respect this push. I want to see him take the, take the TP,
but the
get
catch.
out of there. What? He still wins that.
Link.
Durka caught sleeping almost there, but Link absolutely dominated him.
Yeah, you don't often get that on Durka, but Link's having a series, and that's going to be a now problem to be in the back of the minds, I'm sure. But now Liquid need to play this back in. 4 players against them. Boaster still has ult, so that is going to be a key element moving forward. Waiting for this one. Early usage, wants to get them away from this for now. Keep the time building. Catches Soulcast. Magnum in there, finding Scream. Link on the trade out. Cryptix now. What can you do with this one? Barrel shows. That's another body added. Time, though. This is a post plant, and that time is dwindling from Liquid.
Look how soon they're actually going to find both of them here. Yampy got plenty of time on the defuse. Somehow in the mix there, I know we were watching Doma get closed down in elbow, but they closed the distance on Mystic as well. I'm not sure if he had the second snakebite there. I didn't actually get a look before, but last round comes through, and it's going to be 7-5 on the half. That's so frustrating if you're Durka. He comes through, and again, positionally, in a great position to burst out Hooker and force him. Oh, Mystic actually came through the challenge, actually. I'm not sure, maybe reading into that there, he didn't have the second snakebite available. Saw the first come through. And that was with, what, 4 ultimates? I mean, Durka obviously fell to Link, so the Hunter's Fury wasn't available, but Orbital Strike, Showstopper, and the Seekers for FNATIC there in that previous round.
7-5 though. Close as you like. What a recovery from Liquid after being kind of downtrodden for the first half of that first half. It's really well done.
Exactly the same scoreline as the Challengers Finals, so again, expectations or anything here. I'm hoping Liquid really, I mean, on the back of that round win in the last, carry that momentum across into the second half. You can see that leaning heavily towards B site here. Actually, Cryptix gets spotted out by Doma. A little bit of damage straight off, actually, down to 52 HP, but everybody else on Liquid stacked up for this hit.
I'm waiting for the burst on this, or what the plan is. What's the go up? Boaster and CT, Magnum up close, gonna spot one on the cross, gonna be now in trouble. Nice utility on this burst through. Link gonna find Magnum, Yampy towards Boaster. There was still one, but they get checked on. Liquid, very well refined on this site take, keeping everything in mind and letting Yampy, once again, challenge Durka. It feels the timing's right. Durka's so quick on it, but Scream, just sharp as anything. Starting to maybe warm up a little here is now Mystic, the last one alive.
Gonna get spotted out there. That's 17 HP already. Snakebite comes through, and actually a Scream that finds the tag. And Liquid will actually put the pistol round on the board in the second half. So good opportunity here to tie things up straight away. Convert this. We'll see if we see any investment on the side of FNATIC coming into this. But Magnum, unfortunately, here just so much to deal with. Yampy just creating a load of space, dashing into that cloudburst on sight. Magnum got too many things to shoot at. And straight away, finding these kills early enough allows Liquid to get into some really, really good positions. And again, yeah, Durka finds a nice entry there onto Yampy to get back through, but like you said, it's Scream there to greet him the other side of the smoke.
And for FNATIC, any damage would be great. Liquid want to keep this clean. Spike plants all the goodies. Timing could be a problem. Boaster could do some work on this. Nice. Here's the second as well, but outgunned. So losing one here, not going to be able to recover any of the weaponry either. And slow progress from Liquid, but it's what they want. They want to try and keep this round as safe as possible.
Yeah. Durka tries to go hunting through showers. I think it was something. Mystic just left with a shorty, and we're going to sit back. Yeah, in terms of damage control, they don't want Mystic to find anything else here. Obviously want to ride through these weapons into the next round. Let's see, and looking now, obviously, next round going to be coming into it. Whether Liquid, they're not going to have the Blade Storm. And again, you know, thinking back to previous series with how quickly Yampy's got that online for these kind of key rounds where, you know, be it the bonus or another save round or something, as Mystic just misses the timing there on Cryptics, and we'll get picked up. As I said, we see how this one plays out. Soulcat's actually one away from the Seekers with Plant there, so big tool really if Liquid want to come through with a fast sight hit here. Nothing else online to really combine it with. Like I said, for rounds like this, look towards Yampy getting that Blade Storm online, but gonna ride the Bulldog through. Link 2 away from the orbital strikes. Again, they can make a play for one of the orbs and maybe look for a kill or the plant or something along those lines. We have to wait and see.
Launching smoke.
Liquid holding up towards long together. You do have the Sky on the other side. That can be Magnum. Cryptics trying to keep back Mystic. Bit of a default held throughout this with a little bit of a lean towards long.
If FNATIC actually set up here to, if they're trying to just get the sound cue off that at least. They're almost desperate to contest this orb. Just reading into, like I said, whether it be Link or Soulcast making a play for it. The fake flash comes through. Actually, yeah, the double swing is good. Magnum and Doma working together in tandem. Soulcast will retrieve the orb on the other side. Seeker's invested. Gonna try and hit through onto A on the back of that contact on B.
Nice little catch on this as well. Durka can be forced away, but they still need to make it through. That Viper utility slowing this hit down just a touch. Soulcast gonna try and find a way in, and he's done just that. Mystic still waiting, chomping at the bit. Soulcast gonna try and get that spike down. He has, but he will lose his life eventually for it. The slow burn from Boaster does come in. And now Scream, Cryptics, and Link, this post plant. What do you got for it? Link gonna put it down. His molly down actually just towards U-Haul. Just keep that safe in towards Lamps for now.
Cryptics is set up with the post plant here, and see already the first snakebite comes through. Scream gonna come through, find a kill as well. It's a 3v3 right now. Durka low HP, actually gonna swing, finds the headshot, but Link and Cryptic still up.
They've got to be able to swing on this one, trying to play the time so perfectly. Link gonna go back in. He's been clutched before, but now the timing's everything. Mystic's just fine. The spike's gonna be diffused, and FNATIC pull it away.
Closer again, you can see with with Scream trying to play that very aggressively. He's just trying to run the clock down. Unfortunately, Link didn't have the molly. I guess it was invested elsewhere, but it was also posted up in lamp. So actually, no, sorry, he used the molly in lamps, didn't he? Tried to cut off anybody pushing into him here, but nice little play. And again, that's Liquid reading into, sorry, FNATIC reading into what Liquid wanted to do with this round to try and get a couple of ultimates online and get something going. Feeling themselves on that one. The first round winner this half, and a nice one again. A good opportunity for Liquid to convert that. FNATIC go hunting actually on showers here. Durka just gonna peek onto the back of his recon bolt, but all 5 members of Liquid stacked up on short here.
One way drops and away we go. Liquid gonna try and take over towards the lamp, see what they can get out of it. Soulcast trying to work on forward. A little bit of delay with the molly gonna come down. Bosa focuses his fight towards lamps. Does claim Link for it, but Scream's gone and found Mystic in the meantime. Looks like it's time to back away, allow the spike to potentially go down and play on the retake now.
Yeah, Durka gonna reset for the Hunter's Fury as well. You can see the pings coming down on default. Comes through. Ooh, gonna get the first tag. Actually, they try and retreat. He gets the second as well inside lamps. Lots of damage done there by Durka, actually.
Doma's position is massive. That's a spike now lost. That is huge work from Doma just to find Scream on the retreat. You can see them just hit the pause. FNATIC played that so well, keeping composed, even with that site take coming in, leaving Doma to catch that maybe vulnerability, that one opportunity to hit that rotation.
30 seconds
Beautiful work. Now Cryptics and Soulcast. I don't know how you get back into this. There's a double stack, almost triple stack towards Hookah, let alone, you know, you've got Bosa still lingering around, just making sure that no other threats could come back towards A.
Recon going to come out. 14 seconds left here. I think Cryptics and Soulcast just in a position where they have to hold on to these weapons now. And you're absolutely right. I mean, all that contact coming through. Doma, again, he's not idle elsewhere. He's so active, and actually positionally, he's got opportunity to full on flank market, right? But as soon as Durka resets towards that Hunter's Fury, and again, the tendency is, you know, you fire that down short from the defensive spawn, you're absolutely right. It's going to force one player to, you know, consider taking that TP, right? Doma's position perfectly to greet it, and it actually ends up being Scream with the spike. So it's the perfect kill to find in that scenario, but finished. Absolutely love that play from FNATIC. Again, Boaster finding that kill and then dipping out as well, playing his life, coming all the way back into the spawn to make that the plan, and they stick to it. It's executed perfectly.
Oh, and the switch up on tempo. Look at the pace change from FNATIC. Boaster taking a big fight towards long, claiming 2. This is against Rifles. Cryptic, Soulcast, and Link were meant to be the other prong of this piece, but now they're going to have to fall away from this, maybe look towards leaning in A if any sort of map control could be garnered or progress made by Soulcast, because they've lost out on so much from such a quick piece.
I think well, at least financially, this is a tough round for Liquid. If they do lose it, Soulcast, good for 1. Also spotted out Mystic, or at least noted him with the audio cue, but Mystic will best him. Down to Cryptics and Link once again. Try and push through here, and might get spotted out early on. Actually, yeah, it will. Magnum gonna reveal their location. The orbital strike invested. Link is all but dead now. Look at that. Perfectly played by FNATIC. No risk allowed. Shut that one down. And again, in a round like that, I think financially it's a very tricky round for Liquid. So I'm absolutely fine with the orbital strike being invested here, just to get that one on the board. The aggression in the early round, a triple swing on B long.
And we've seen that in the past. I mean, Scream and Yampy like to take that long control. They'll kind of go for that while the rest hold default. You note it in the first couple of rounds. And just to take them away is such a perfect play from FNATIC. This is what we mean about this whole chess game. These two are taking so much note of each other. They're so hyper aware of how each other play. They are in each other's heads constantly. This is a very well considered game. Now Liquid going to go for the tactical timeout this time around here. Probably the right time to be doing so. They could fashion a bit of a weird purchase. You got Soulcast sitting pretty, but then 2.1 on Scream. Yampy's fine. Link a little lighter, but we'll have to see what they go for in this regard. Whereas of course now we look on the other side, Durka sitting with the op.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not as terrifying as when he's on the jet, but the weapon's scary nonetheless. Yeah, looking at it, and again, ultimate-wise, yeah, they got the Blade Storm. Potentially, Yampi can drop one out, but he's not going to have armor. This is a tricky round here if you see Liquid kind of over-invest to get back into this. Potentially, I mean, this is looking like FNATIC on 11, and then Liquid need to string together 4 rounds just to tie things up.
It's about to get pretty arduous. They are buying into this. Sitting around like 1.6, 2k. 2 rifles, ult for Yampi. So they're not coming in completely vulnerable, but certainly outgunned pound for pound with what's coming on the other side. Ult's not quite up yet though, so Liquid do have at least the advantage in that regard. And there we go, hearing Yampi straight towards the knives coming out. FNATIC still going to vie for that early control over on long. 3 players again going for this, and I want to see where that early fight for the extremities begins. It looks like showers this time around, so you're going to have the flash through the wall, you're going to have the slow coming in, Soulcast going to get this as well. That is a lot of ults now being worked towards.
Yeah.
Magnum
Both Seekers.
is the only one online though.
I was going to say, both Seekers actually retrieved in this round. Magnum on B long and Soulcast in showers. Liquid playing this one out slow, just again allowing a couple of those things to happen. Yampi take control, Soulcast retrieving that orb, and you can see now the plan is going to be to end up on this side of the map, and it's Doma and Magnum to hold down the fort for FNATIC. Trailblazer going to come through, clear out the counter. Boombot here. The Seekers invested pretty early here, I guess anticipating the hit coming through on the back of that, but yeah.
I'll take it for that.
I've got your trail.
Yeah, Seekers on the other side going to come back right around though. Yampi needs this, and he's not found the first. He's trying to find a way through towards Magnum, but Doma and Boaster out of nowhere just dig them away, and look at the line of defense that FNATIC just forge. As soon as Liquid tried to make that play forward, Yampi found no success with it. The gap couldn't be closed. The smokes go up, and Boaster has this perfect wall with his firing squad by his side. Durka just to seal the deal on this. And FNATIC's rotations were perfect. Yeah, I think it was interesting to see Magnum pop the Seekers there, but it worked so well to buy time for those rotations.
I think it's on the back of the Boombot obviously gets shot at by more than one person. So right there, you've got the information, right, that there's 2 at least coming through to split hooker, potentially, if there's some contact coming through on long. So I'm actually with you. It kills enough time that, like I said, it's a crucial 3 to 5 seconds to get that rotation going and get bodies towards B site. Or even, you know, it allows time for Boaster to at least close the distance and get those smokes off into hooker, at least on the window itself. Now, a little bit of a set piece coming on to B here, and it looks very quick.
Boaster, he's not been checked on. This is revenge of the finest kind! Boaster! A massive 3k for him. But we are still with 2 players alive for Liquid. It's not over just yet, but it's Cryptix and Soulcast already beaten and bruised the Walking Wounded, but Cryptix carries on. Still has his ult available as well, so he can try and make this as safe as he can. Investing that now, Spike can be planted somewhat uncontested.
For the time being, at least, Soulcast and Cryptix now in a position where find themselves in a 2v2. A good hold initially. Doma just off with that spray, but Boombot as well going to go through and hunt out in and amongst the Viper's pit. Actually going to reveal one. Mystic going to clean up a kill on the back of it. Soulcast will be dealt with as well. Doma going to close this one out. FNATIC will go to map point.
There is a reason this map is avoided. There is a reason you do not let FNATIC come here. If you leave it in the map pool, it's going to get picked, and you might be feeling this 12-7. It feels like a slow beginning from Liquid, but this also has just been FNATIC being very solid in approach. Boaster, I thought he might have had a 4th on that too. Cryptix barely left alive.
Oh, look at that. Again, like I said, the Boombot sent out for a little scout inside that ultimate, and Mystic actually immediately finds the kill on the back of it. Now, Liquid will get a purchase together. Light armors, orbital strike, revive available, but nothing else. And Mystic gonna pop the Viper's pit, but it's another fast piece here, Lauren.
Yeah, but Yampi's isolated again. Mystic is still alive in between them. He's got a little bit of room, but it's gonna be the players behind him dying. Scream's now gone, but Yampi finally gets that trade that he needed. Durka goes down, but Mystic goes hunting. That's a response from Mystic, and it's a big one at that. He's still looking for more. There's a player on either side. He's kind of sandwiched in, but what a nuisance. He's protecting that spike. He's gonna hold it in his hands, wait for the support. Time invested. Doma tries to clear, but there's still a player lingering around, and it is Cryptix.
Orbital strike invested now. Magnum are going to find a kill elsewhere. Just down to 2. Yampy and Cryptix now. Cryptix outside this ultimate. They will actually find Mystic. That's a huge kill here. It brings us to a 2v2.
Yampy being able to gather back up with his buddy in Cryptix is actually pretty massive. Now, the spike can be garnered, but this positioning from Magnum can be such a nuisance. I don't know how aware of it they are at this point and what they do with this. You're going to see them split the sites. Boaster's on the other side of the map right now. He can take that TP. Cryptix, though, seems cognizant of the chance of someone towards it. Yeah, Magnum now checked on. Going to fall away. 2 flashes left. Map 1 on the line for this. You're going to see Boaster have to slowly make his way around. Magnum wants in now, though. Did he catch a glimpse of Cryptix? He might have done. And now he's checking on the close corner. Yampy says no. It's on Boaster to try and do anything with this. Time is going to be against him, and it's not an easy post plant either.
Did smoke off short here, so allows him to move up close enough, but it's going to be an awkward peak here with the crossfire from Yampy and Cryptix. Clock ticking away. We'll try and find one, but Yampy good for his 3rd on the round, and again, with how that started off, yeah, it's on the back of Yampy, just all out, closing the distance towards Lampstead, gets all the way back behind Truck, actually, and finds a kill. And that's on top of Mystic off the rip, popping the Viper Spear, just almost not respecting it at all.
But this is a man I want to put it to, is Cryptix playing calm here, waiting for the join back up from Yampy, and didn't overextend, didn't feel as though he had to go early, played the time so well, and actually it worked out incredibly for both of these players. That was about to be a round done for because of Mystic's ult, right? Like, that was a huge bit of impact. Denied, dissuaded, and now we go back in. 12-8, buy back in for Liquid. They still got the rifles out, good purchase. A bit of light armor here and there, but now Yampy's progress beginning towards long again.
Yeah, we always have this discussion, though, that Liquid are, if they are going to fight their way back into this, they need to be clean rounds. And again, with the buffer FNATIC's built up here on the economy, they've still got a very comfortable purchase on the other side. So they can play the numbers game, they can play the trades. Magnum actually spotted just off default here, and a big trade off a utility.
Doma's gone unchecked. There we go. Finds him. Good work from Yampy and a great clear thus far. This is a really well-constructed side take. That was just picture perfect for them.
Yeah. It was very, very slow and methodical, and as soon as the hit comes through, Magnum gets isolated, and the clearance is just fantastic. And I mean, I asked for it. That's about as clean as you could ask for. The Prime Gaming flawless coming out from Team Liquid here. Put them on 9 rounds and a 3-round deficit now. They try and claw their way back into this map 1.
That little bit of swap.
Wait, Soulcast? That jump spot was massive.
One enemy remaining.
Great work from him, and I'm glad to see Soulcast having a good couple of rounds here. His value is certainly showing again. As we go back in 12-9, the money's starting to wane a little for FNATIC, but it's still going to be enough to fashion a good purchase here. Down to about 1.1 after purchase. And on the other side, starting to build a bank, but, they just got to stay on those clean takes. You can't let too many threats build against you with, obviously, map point on your side.
Oh, they happy to have to smoke himself off to give him an opportunity if Magnum does flash out and they swing. Nice little play there, but Magnum just kind of baiting out. Again, an information flash sent out. Magnum just looking for the audio cue on that one. Same as this one, actually.
Did he get it on that?
I think he did. I think he did, unless Yampy was able to play close enough to the left side.
Regardless, they're spamming on the wall. So
yeah.
He knows they're there. But for now, it was a minute's worth of a default hold. Slow build back in towards kind of hookah. You're going to have that long
Look at the ultimates, though.
Once again. Oh, you're right. Soulcast, Scream, Yampy. Nothing to deny it either. There is nothing up for FNATIC right now. This is just the guns at the side and whatever they've got left. There go the Seekers. You can see the utility blade trying to maybe slow down one side of this hit. Yampy's going to lean further ahead. He's on his own, though. He's on an island. Magnum's just going to send him packing and already link up on top, though. Makes up for a great pickup and a good trade for Magnum again. Still being a nuisance, still holding presence, puts out the Seekers, will lose life, but it's a 3v3 now. 27 seconds, and they ain't on the site yet. The spike is still in the hands of Cryptix, over towards Hookah.
And kind of stuck there. He's this 2-1 split. He's the solo player, and Doma gets himself into a disgusting position. Gonna find the first Scream, actually trades it. He's got the revive as well.
10 seconds now, they've got to get a move on, but they're trying to do everything possible, and Liquid might have just held this together unless Boaster is going to dig him out of it. That's going to be a freebie on the way. Fight Scream, no way. And now the 1v2 begins, but looking down below, there is one player waiting. It's Soulcast, drags him to his grave, and Liquid make it to double digits now.
I think FNATIC now in an odd position as well. They had one round in hand in terms of the economy. I'm not sure if it'll be a full purchase, but that there has got to be considered the do or die round for Liquid. Scream just does so well to hold position there. 30 HP as well, just waits for the peak, anticipating it from Durka to protect that revive coming through. And once again, it's on the back of, I gotta say, one of the most impactful ultimates at the disposal of Liquid, which is the Seekers. Time and time again, we see these fast hits come off the back of these just preemptive kind of information play. I love it. Again, they pop it from so deep as well. It's to kind of figure out exactly, you know, what side is clear, whether or not anybody's playing close in garden or anything like that. But every time they literally pinpoint a kill.
And at 12-10, this is timeout time for FNATIC. It's been 3 on the trot now. You're gonna see them have to dig maybe a little deeper in the playbook if they want to be able to deal with this. Liquid have started to warm into it. And this hasn't just been the Scream show. This hasn't just been Yampy having a above average performance. You know, Yampy and Scream are always somewhat good, it feels, but I'm looking at Soulcast, I'm looking at Link, Cryptics. Yep. These guys have been doing work for them here. They are filling that void. Now, what do they do going further ahead? 2 more rounds, and we're looking at OT.
Yeah, I mean, this was the round in hand I was talking about. You can see, actually, even the cracks in the economy starting to show. Light armor on Mystic, light armor on Boaster. Again, it's not comfortable after this. Obviously, it's going to be 12-11, so there's no scenario that FNATIC save in the next anyway, but... MP now, Operator online, Blade Storm at his disposal.
Oh, I love this switch up. They've conditioned them to be so worried about that B side, but just on these rotations, pulling out one player from position. I think that's going to be Mystic, who's going to be slightly out of sorts, but he's going to get back towards the site, actually. He's going to hear all these steps. He's surrounded on all fronts. What does he do with this now? He's got 4 players, left, right, center. Wall goes up. He's still amongst it all. He's trying to not make too much noise. He's trying to keep his head down. Who finds him in the end? The smoke's yet to dissipate. Spike's now planted. Peekaboo says hello. Scream takes his life. You don't get to have this sort of fun as Liquid lock it down, finding the 2 players who are kind of dedicated towards this side. Scream gets wooded away from Lamps, but by now this retake's going to be rough. Boaster's still pretty far away. He may find Soulcast, but Link goes down. Dome has found the first step.
He's got Showstopper as well. He could pop that online here. I don't think he knows somebody's close here. Boaster, crucial kill here for Soulcast, and actually going to bring it to a 3v3.
Okay, suddenly this is getting... No way, Cryptics in a 1v3. How has this happened? Gonna try and just lob down the last piece of utility. It doesn't quite reach. It's all falling apart in front of FNATIC. Close it out in that round.
No way. I can't believe that's, again, everything going right for Liquid early on there. Doma finds a massive kill in Lamps. And then, like I said, the Showstopper comes online. Boaster, as soon as he finds that kill on Soulcast, and that's the sort of play we talk about, right? This is a crucial round here. I think FNATIC anticipate that Liquid are going to sit back in that post plant. They're going to rely on the, you know, the Viper and the Brimstone utility to close that round out. So Boaster going through there and find that kill. It's Soulcast ultimately, but again, I love that little adjustment, and what a fantastic way for them to close out. Doma, man, again, massive value in that final round.
It's map 1, and look, FNATIC got the win, but Liquid did make them look human, which is a rare accolade, especially with teams facing off against FNATIC on this map. There's a reason it normally gets taken away from them. Doma, I'm becoming such a fan of this player, and this play back in, Boaster felt like he was on an island, but Doma carved his way forward. Unreal work between the boys there, and that last bit of utility, that desperate grab at the end, you know, it was a valiant attempt, but it wasn't quite enough. And now Ascent's on the horizon. I don't know where this goes now. This was probably one of FNATIC's strongholds when you think about it, you know, in their past, in their results, but I don't know if Ascent looked good in this tournament, I guess, for them so far. So where do we see this shaking down?
I mean, expectations-wise, yes, I was expecting this to go the way it has done, but I mean, the way that Liquid played, like I said, this was way more confident than the last showing we had. Like I said, it took them a long time to get back and fight back into the previous appearance on Bind in particular. And this time, I got to say, once they did get a few rounds together, it looked a lot more comfortable for Liquid. So huge positives there. I'm just worried when I look at this now, and again, Bind going as expected. If we come to map 2 and there's a little bit of a surprise, then we come to split. It's really interesting once we get a little further throughout this series, Lauren.
All right, well, we'll leave that to the Desta breakdown because they'll be on this show just after the break. So guys, stick around. We'll be back in just a moment's time.